taon ka nagtrabaho sa ibang bansa, pero ngayon, ikaw na ang boss. Sineselebrate natin ang inyong retirement. At ngayon, ikaw na ang boss. New beginnings, new independence. Dahil ngayon, ikaw na ang boss. Kung ready ka na maging boss, ready ka nang kasama ang Shawarma Shack. Daan-daang franchisees across the country ang tagumpay sa pagiging boss. Through the Shawarma Shack franchising system, step by step namin kayong tutulungan. That's why Shawarma Shack is now the biggest shawarma chain in the country. Gusto namin tagumpay ka. Gusto namin, ikaw na ang boss. Masaya ka bonding sa inyong tagumpay.
We started ang family business talaga namin. Talaga sari-sari store ang negosyo namin. So sa sari-sari store namin, same building, meron kaming on the side na dress shop. Yan ang sabi ni Mama. Dress shop, hindi pa to sports. I mean, nagagawa lang kami, nagre-repair lang kami ng mga damit. From there, may pumunta sa kanyang friend or client na nagpagawa ng parang how many pieces of t-shirts. So from there, yung makina niya, kaya naman gawin yung shirt, doon na nag-start yung paggawa niya ng uniform. Kung paano yung sinimulan ni Mama, siguro yun pa rin naman yung nararamdaman namin. Pero in a different perspective na. Talagang pag nanood ngayon tayo ng TV, when we watch yung different sports, kunyari nanood tayo ng basketball, makikita natin yung PBA. Pag nanood tayo ng volleyball, makikita natin yung LGR. Iba na yung pakiramdam na yung brand is overall, nakikita na lahat.
"12 young and energetic ball clubs, all eager and pumped to prove themselves worthy of their next big role in their basketball careers. Coming to you live here at the ENDERUN Titan Gym in the busy center of Taguig is the Pinoyliga Next Man Cup. Dito, Team B ang bida. Huge matches we have lined up for today, starting with the Dlsu Green Archers facing off against the New Era University Hunters, and we will be capping it off with a match between the Eagles from Katipunan from Ateneo and the San Sebastian Golden Stags. Migs Gonzalez here, and joining me, the one and only Benny Benitez. Sir Benny, it is a battle of kings today.
Definitely, Migs. Magandang hapon sa iyo. Magandang hapon, mga kaliga, and welcome to this Battle of the Greens, the NEU Hunters versus the Dlsu Green Archers.
Absolutely exciting games today. So hihimayin na kagad natin to. Tignan natin this DLSQ squad in their last game against Ateneo, beating them 82-67.
Yeah, that's true, Migs. Itong Green Archers, they're on an onslaught. The first victim that they had is their arch rival, the Ateneo Blue Eagles.
Natalo kagad sila doon. Obviously, dominating on all cylinders here. Tapos titignan naman natin yung last game ng New Era later on your screens now. Titignan natin the Dlsu Green Archers going off against the New Era Hunters. New Era also facing off against the Ateneo Blue Eagles in their last game. So, titignan natin in a while kung ano yung nangyari doon. New Era losing in an upset was Ateneo dominating there. Tignan natin.
Yeah, it's a 71-59 game where Ateneo talaga nagpaulan ng 3 points during that game. They had a very high clip, and the Hunters never had the answers to those 3-point shots na binira ika nga nila ng Ateneo Blue Eagles.
Yeah, Ateneo really was just waxing hot in terms of their 3-point percentage against the Hunters. So titignan natin what are their keys to winning, starting with the Hunters here, crashing the boards together and diversifying and intensifying. Can you expound a bit more on that, Sir Benny?
Well, the NEU Hunters makes they're a very deep team, very, very versatile itong team na to. They're not just TJ Adams, but they're a bunch of athletic wings at saka very athletic guards. And they have to diversify, that is correct. And they have to really understand where they are good at. It's not the bigs only, but also yung wing play nila at saka yung guard play nila.
Looking at the side of Lasal naman, ano yung kailangan nilang gawin against this New Era Hunter team? Also a king in their Naasku squad league. Anong kailangan gawin ng Green Archers dito?
Stay efficient. Mason Amos, he shot 18 points, out 8 of 10 from the field, and Jacob Cortez had a very high clip as well, 62%. He went 5 of 8 during that time, winning the Best Player of the Game award. They have to stay that way, and they have to run because yun naman talaga ang DNA ng Dlsu Green Archers.
Now that we know the blueprint for today, papakinggan naman natin ang ating third member of our broadcast team, Bianca Tagarda, with her report for us today. Bianca?
It's going to be a really exciting game, Migs and Benny, dahil nga magiging test itong laro na ito for the Green Archers as they will be battling against the Hunters without their FSA player, that is Bright Nuangco. At alam naman natin, itong Hunters, isa sa main gunners nila ay si TJ Adams and his present for today. Apart from that, the Hunters are also bouncing back from a loss, kaya asahan nating may gigil yung laro nila for this afternoon. But Migs and Benny, it's the Battle of Green nga, gaya ng sabi ninyo. Pero sino ba sa tingin ninyo ang uuwing masaya mamaya?
Archers obviously missing a key link, in Bright Nuangco and New Era with a big and healthy TJ Adams. Ano kaya yung magiging impact natin doon, Sir Benny? What do you think?
Well, it's gonna be a rebounding contest, and kung wala nga si Bright Nuangco, it's a big advantage for the New Era Hunters. So ako naman, in terms of prediction, I'm an eternal dehadista. So I think I'm gonna go this time again with an underdog, the New Era Hunters in this game.
Yeah, for me, I got the Green Archers for this one. I mean, they have a healthy lineup. They don't have Bright Nuangco, pero alam kong makakabawi sila sa 1-2 punch ni Cortez and Amos. So only time will tell. Let's turn it over to our game announcer for the start of game number 1.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here at the ENDERUN College's City of Taguig. Live on our official Facebook page and our YouTube channel, we bring you the action of the battle between your De La Salle University Green Archers versus your New Era University Hunters. This is your Pinoyliga Next Man Cup, presented to you by Shawarma Shack. Now let's meet the starters first from your Dlsu Green Archers. Starting guard number 0, Jacob Cortez. Another guard, number 19, Andre Dungo. Starting forward, number 2, Boris Marasigan. Another forward, number 30, Mason Amos. And starting center, number 31, Luis Pablo. The Green Archers head coach is Oliver Bunye. And now, let's meet the starters for your New Era University Hunters. Starting guard, number 22, Aldrich David. Another guard, number 38, Janver Luzon. Starting forward, number 2, Jomar Lapio. Another forward, number 21, James Manzano. And starting center, number 40, TJ Adams. The Hunters head coach is Jay Agsalun, and assistant coach, Dimson Apigilio. Our game referees for this match, crew chief, Desis Garos, umpire 1, Dave Maligaya, and umpire 2, John Lisiges.
And starters on your screens now, Cortez and Dungo will be the starting guards for De La Salle. Pablo will be filling in the absence of for Bright Luanco. Boris Marasigan and Mason Amos will be their 3 and 4 on the side of the Hunters. They'll be starting with David Lauzon Adams at the center and Labio and Manzano for their 3 and 4 to counter Marasigan and Amos on the side of the Green Archers. This is game number 1 of the Pinoyliga Next Man Cup for your Sunday doubleheader, starting with the DLSU Green Archers and the New Era University Hunters. As I said kanina sa pregame na, Sir Benny, it is a battle of kings today. Yung New Era, isa sa mga semi-finalists yan ng NAASCU, and DLSU, we all know their winning tradition.
Yeah, we're seeing both winning programs before our very eyes, Mix. I can see greens nga ngayon. Battle of greens talaga, Mix.
It is the battle of greens as tough fadeaway jumper will not hit there by Aldrich David by the corner, and early foul called with 9.5 remaining in the first. Labio breaks free.
Yeah, Mix, I'd like to point out, mentioned kanina na wala si Bright Nuwangco.
Wala.
This is an opportunity, of course, for the bigs of the De La Salle Green Archers
for sure.
to step up, although it's going to be a very, very big challenge on the part of Luis Pablo matching
Absolutely.
up with TJ Adams.
Yeah, as much as it is an opportunity for La Salle to break through, no, it's also now New Era's chance to capitalize on their bigs as well. No? Itong TJ Adams, the starting center for the Hunters, he can go to work now inside with the absence of Bright Nuwangco, but also, as you mentioned, La Salle's challenge now.
That's right. Mix informed, we were informed that Bright Nuwangco wasn't going to be able to make it, but malalim naman sila. They still have Dominic Sarmiento,
Absolutely.
6'8", highly recruited from last year, a project type player for the De La Salle Green Archers. Let's see, baka mamaya siya yung solusyon dito.
Adams quickly double teamed, but it doesn't matter. Brushes off the defense early, and an early 6-0 run for the Hunters as DLSU calls timeout. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Stay tuned.
Mga kaliga, quick updates lang from the side of the Green Archers. Well, there is still no Kian Baclaan present for this game as he is still recovering from his tooth extraction last week. Wala rin si Justin Buenaventura after sustaining an injury in his foot during the last game. Although non-contact daw yon, Justin underwent a surgery. He's present in the court right now but of course hindi siya maglalaro. Marami man ang wala for the side of the Archers. It's not a worry according to Coach Oliver Bunli dahil mayroon na namang mga quality players ang present for this game. Pero tanungin naman natin yung panel, Migs and Benny, sino ba sa tingin ninyo ang players na magsa-step up on behalf of those absent?
I mean, Benny, with the depth of the Archers, I don't think the absence of 2 players will be that big of a problem. You have Noki and Baclaan today. You also have no Buenaventura, pero you have the likes of Pablo. You have the likes of Cortez taking on the reins here for the Green Archers. But who do you think else will step up to the plate here for Lasal?
Migs, yung sinasabi nila next man up, it now holds
Perfect.
water for
Yeah.
for the Dlsu Green Archers.
Yeah.
Definitely nandyan yung Andre Dungo. We
Yeah.
saw it, yung kanyang jump shot, pure. For scoring, we could see na meron siyang opportunity na mag-step up dyan.
Oh, yeah. As Boris Marasigan takes on a steal and trying to stop the bleeding. Score now at 6-4.
Migs, point out din natin, early activation of a 2-2-1 press, full court ang ginawa agad ng Dlsu Green Archers. I think that's their counter dun sa 6-0 start ng New Era Hunters.
Let's see if this defensive adjustment will have some dividends. Pablo seizes the board. Ahead of the pack is Amos, but Labio with the interception. David, forward to James. Stolen. And Jacob Cortez bounce pass to Amos and gets an early throwdown. Ties the game at 6. And sabi siguro ng Lasal, 6-0 run, it doesn't matter. Now it's tied again.
Wow, Migs, not every day that you see Mason Amos
Throw it
dunk
down like that.
a basketball. Ano,
It's rare.
This is really something of a metamorphosis of some sort. Of course,
Let's take a look at this
we're seeing
instant
here, oh.
replay.
Grabe, no?
Early gift yun para sa atin. Wala si Bright Nawangko daw. No problem. Sabi ni Mason.
No, right, no problem. Sabi sa atin ni Mason.
Nablo getting that handoff off of Manzano. Shot clock reads 6. Labio from the 4-point line. Nope. Adams clears the board. Good pick against Cortez. Swinging the ball but still to no avail. Again from the parking lot. And there's that lockdown Lasal defense again.
No, you could see yung type of defense that the Dlsu Green Archers enforces on their
Yeah.
opposition. Hindi na naman to bago, Mix eh.
Yeah.
From the time, of course, of Coach Franz Pumarin,
Ay,
talagang
classic.
DNA na talaga ng Green Archers, yung depensan talagang mabigat.
Diba? Diyan nga na-coin yung Pumarin press eh.
Yes.
Sa half-court defense pa lang. Pero syempre sa offense, babawi din. Boris Marasigan from the corner. And that is a 9-0 run by Lasal. Coming from this timeout, New Era with a run during the first part. And Lasal answers back quickly from Taft. That is your 3-point shot play of the game. Brought to you by Smart 5G. We'll be right back after this timeout. And coming back from this timeout, LaSalle answering with a 9-0 run against the early 6-0 run of the Hunters. And we find ourselves 9-6 now. And obviously now our audience in full attendance. Alam natin kagad, basta New Era at LaSalle ang naglalaro dito sa Pinoyliga ay dinudumog ang Enderan Titan Gym. So I'd like to invite everybody to catch our games live dito sa Enderan Colleges, dito lang sa Taguig. We have 2 games for today. We're just on game number 1. Pero kung nasa biyahe, nasa trabaho, nasa school, not a problem at all. You can watch our games live at the Pinoyliga Cup on Facebook and YouTube. So you can catch all our games either on replay or on demand. And a great 2-man play there for New Era. Sevilla with the cherry on top.
Magandang makita dito, Mix, kung paano na ginawa ng New Era yung adjustment. They went still to TJ Adams at the post. Pero nung nakita nila nagsasag na ang Dlsu Green Archers, magaling pumasa si TJ Adams. And they're leveraging now, Mix, on how great a passer TJ Adams is.
Also credit the off-ball movement of the Hunters. Hindi dapat, hindi magkakaroon ng opportunity pumasa itong si TJ Adams kung hindi kumakat.
Yep.
You know, Sevilla saw that sag and then he just cut to the basket.
That's true.
LaSalle with 5 on the shot clock. Ball will sail back to the side of the Hunters. It's still the full court press being implemented here by De La Salle.
Eh, mukha naman may counter dito ang New Era Hunters, Mix. Minention na rin natin sa mga previous broadcast natin how deep yung guard lineup ng New Era is, and it will benefit them, especially dito sa pressure defense that is being applied by the Dlsu Green Archers.
Kumbaga kasi lagi kang may fresh legs eh.
Definitely.
Every time magro-rotate yung men mo, you always have those guards that are eager on the bench to start. Amos all day to shoot, makes them pay with a 3.
Migs, I could go as far as saying with the optics that Mason is showing us that he might be primed for an MVP season for the UAAP season 88 with what he's showing.
Sana hindi natin nabati yun.
Oo nga,
pero instant replay ng smooth as silk. That 3-pointer by Amos starting off with a dunk earlier and looking incredibly loose, pero nandito na yung sagot ng New Era in Tristan Tolentino. Checking in the ball game, not a very good shooting night in their last game against Ateneo, but definitely in prime shape during their first game against Mapua. Sana may mapakita sa atin ngayon.
Yeah. Migs, kwento lang tayo, no? Tristan Tolentino, he was 2 of 7 from the 3-point area against the Ateneo. So, will he wax hot ngayon? Let's see.
Pero baka i-wax off na muna yung kalawang. Here we go. The feel-out shot. Tristan not connecting. Pero nasabi nga ng New Era squad na to, Tristan is their main option from that perimeter threat, and Boris Marasigan no good with that corner triple. Boris trying to swipe that ball but will be whistled for a foul is Boris Marasigan. Also one of the mainstays for the Green Archers is Boris. We've seen him don that number 2 for LaSalle for quite some time already here in Pinoyliga, and we know what he can do. Now he has Mason Amos on his team. He has Jacob Cortez, and kakapasok lang nito etong si Romero and
Santi
Rubico.
Romero, yeah.
Santi
Romero.
Yeah.
Santi Romero came from the LaSalle High School system as well. He provides energy off the bench. Meron nga siyang ginawang very great defensive stop during his their last game against
I believe that's Ateneo.
The Ateneo
The last
Eagles,
game,
in the may corner shooter talagang nag-close out si Santi Romero, and let's see what happened to the New Era player here.
Looks like someone's still on the floor. Let's take a look at this replay. What happened here? Boris just absolutely floored the guard from New Era. I believe that's number 9. That's Vincent Nablo. And it looks like he's being escorted back to the bench here. So he'll be taking a breather for now. Eh kung masagasahan ka naman ng kasing laki ni Boris Marasigan, di ba?
Tank build nga eh.
Naka-tank build din, pero agility pa rin eh. Ang bilis eh.
We saw si Boris Marasigan 2 years ago when he was doing his residency for the Green Archers. The first season of the Next Man Cup. And we know already how he can contribute immediately to the Dlsu Green Archers season. And yung last season with the UAAP, season 87, he was lined up. Although nandun pa siya sa pecking order, nandun pa siya sa mga 10th, 11th player out of the team. But he's there. And high expectations.
He already has a foot in the door. So now, every time he participates here in Pinoyliga or any parallel leagues, that's him trying to gain more experience. Tolentino attacks the closeout, but attacking the wrong line there was David. Ball will go back to De La Salle.
Tristan Tolentino, Migs, he has the green light to shoot.
Always.
Always.
Kahit 2 out of 7 yan, 0 out of 17 ay sinasabi lagi ni Coach J. Agsalud, tira ka lang ng tira. You have my blessing, kumbaga.
Yan ang maganda pagka may coach kang ganon na
Oh, yeah.
talagang binibigyan ka ng green light, kumpiyansa.
Amos, different spot, different result. Ball collected by Basabika.
Another name, Basabika.
Yes.
Nandyan.
One of the energy guys for New Era, itong si Basabika, no? And believe it or not, may nakakwentuhan ako from the previous games, nakakadakdak pala to si Basabika.
Oh.
And he's just my height. And for those who don't know, I'm just 5'8". I can barely tap the board.
Very athletic. Yeah, Migs, punta lang tayo dito. Ano ba yung adjustment na ginagawa ni Coach J. Agsalud in this case? Pinuntahan niya na agad si TJ Adams knowing that nagkakaroon ng match-ups kung saan si Konob na yung kumocover kay TJ Adams. They're trying to cherry pick at this point.
Sevilla missing on that corner 3. Basabika there to clean it up, but he'll be gathering a foul there against Santi Romero. Basabika just collecting that board and rising above everybody else. So now he'll be going to the free throw line for the Hunters as LaSalle takes a 3-point lead.
Siguro, Migs, kwento ko lang briefly. In my pre-game, talagang sabi ko, it would have been nice to see a Bright Noango versus TJ Adams matchup.
I mean, that would have been the landmark really fight here coming into game number 1. No? But unfortunately, Bright Noango will be sitting this one out as he recovers. So, of course, we wish and hope for his quick next game. Makakalaro na si Baklaan.
Again, another story on Tristan Tolentino. Yung portion ng 3-point area na yon, Mix,
Favorite niya yun.
favorite niya yan.
Yep, that wing na malapit sa corner. Pero favorite naman ni Konov. Dun sa corner, another 3 for De La Salle. And the ring has been looking like an absolute ocean here for the Green Archers. New Era, nagsastruggle dito si Tristan. 0 out of 2 so far. And great touch pass there on the inside. Just freeing up Konov in the corner, just draining that from deep.
That's early chemistry, Mix, kasi si Luis Pablo na-recognize na agad na kumo-corner na si Konov.
Yeah.
And yung touch pass nang yon, pure.
That's great. And pass disconnecting. Ball goes back to the Green Archers. New Era looking like they're rushing their offense a bit. And LaSalle's offense just flowing right now. As uupo muna dito si David.
Early well-oiled machine na ang De La Salle Green Archers. I think this group kasi mix outside of course of the usual na sila EJ, sila Guliena, sila of course sila Mike Phillips, yung A group nila. Ito yung grupo na magkakasama madalas.
Yes. For all the games that they play. Usually ito talaga yung roster nila.
Kaya malaki ang chance ng LaSalle if this group would have chemistry early on.
Yeah. Kasi ito na yung susunod. Again, going back to the title of our league pa lang, Next Man Cup eh. Kumbaga ito na, next roster up na to. That's sina Pablo, Romero, Konov, tapos again, dinedevelop pa na to sina Sarmiento, Mason Amos looking prime as much as he can. So definitely a scary competition for the UAAP as LaSalle heads into the next season. Tolentino gets that pick from Manzano, but good denial by Konov. Driving into the 5-point line and dropping it off to Sevilla, but New Era not looking like their usual selves right now.
Who's gonna be that person that will take the place of TJ Adams pag wala siya?
Yun yung
That's
pinapag-usapan nga, Benny, no, na we have James Manzano, we have Jared Sevilla, but Sevilla moving on to the MPBL with the Quezon Huskers, pero wala pa silang true big eh. Kumbaga, like TJ Adams na kumakain ng rebound, very reliable on interior defense. That's something that New Era still has to look for, no?
Manzano, nandyan si Duarte. These are wings, mga 3-4s na, mga 3-4s na talagang may mako-contribute.
Oh, yeah.
But that big center, that one that will spare si TJ Adams some minutes, very critical yan sa campaign ni Coach Jayag. Salute.
Dire-diretso sa ring itong si Matthew Rubico, but he'll be fouled by Tristan Tolentino. Still 0 out of 2 here in the first quarter. Naiwan ka agad yung defender doon. Thanks to that pick by Dominic Sarmiento na pinasok na rin dito ni head coach Oliver Bunye for the Sal.
6'8", project type. These are the type of bigs na hawakin natin kay Coach Jello Vito. Baka mamaya he could make wonders.
And the Mayor Zamora here in attendance now to support his son. Etong si Ronaldo Zamora ng De La Salle na hindi pa yata naglalaro ngayon. Pero baka mamaya ipasok na.
I think if I'm not mistaken, yung pangalan ng anak ni, of course, ni Mayor Zamora, namesake niya yung kanyang grandfather. Si former Secretary Ronaldo Zamora.
It's very nice. And ball still will stay with New Era after that scuffle ni Santi Romero. Gaining some quality minutes here for Coach Oliver. Still full court press here for the Sal. Broken with ease there by Nablo. Getting that pick from Sevilla.
I always mention, Migs, the effort of a full court press is to delay the offense of your opposition, and that's exactly what the De La Salle Green Archers are doing because hindi na nila pinapaporma. So yung mga 3-point shots ni Tristan Tolentino, hindi na siya talaga nakaka-setup dun eh. Normally, nung nangyari yung laro ng Ateneo versus La Salle, nung ginawa nila yung 2-2-1 press nila, hindi na nga nakaporma yung Ateneo. But Ateneo never had a big man where they could rely on pag ganun yung nangyayari. In this case, with the New Era Hunters, they still have TJ Adams. Very critical talaga in their survivability dito sa laro na to si TJ Adams because of that.
And they know, as La Salle, that New Era isn't a 3-point shooting team. They know that they have Tristan Tolentino pero wala silang reliable backup kay Tristan. Si Labio, si Nablo, hindi naman yung reliable 3-pointers since we know that they're all born slashers pa talaga eh. So, great read there by La Salle.
Maganda sa mga ganitong klaseng tournaments, Migs, you get to see the reads, the adjustments of the coaches. This is their opportunity eh. Yung mga ganitong tournaments. Kaya it's exciting for the basketball fans, not just from a fan point of view, but a coach's point of view.
Pablo puts the ball on the floor. Konov disconnects from 3. Sevilla cross-court to Nablo, almost a steal by Rubico. Gallardo, New Era has a window of opportunity here. Sevilla, no fadeaway there. And foul will be whistled against James Manzano as he was caught holding Konov there. Kita natin that tough fadeaway by Sevilla. And Manzano whistled for the hold.
That was a good box out by Konov.
Saradong-sarado kaagad si Manzano dun. But obviously, the coaching staff of New Era in contention there. Sinasabi na parang normal box out lang yata yun. But regardless, it's whistled for the foul.
Alex Konov, highly recruited from last year from the States. The De La Salle Green Archers, they really are hoping for the immediate development of Konov because he has the size.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. He has the build as well.
Because he has a, if you wanna call it a basketball body.
Yeah.
Meron talaga siyang ganun. Kaya it's not everyone is gifted with the height that he has.
Oh, yeah.
So tingnan natin yung development ni Konov as we move along with 2025.
Konov now at the free throw line for his second shot. Makes it. And now New Era will have a chance at the last shot here of the first quarter.
Alex Konov, Migs, that's his scouting report. He is a shooter.
Oh yeah. Pero ngayon, hindi pa masyadong nakakapagparamdam as much as he wants. Nablo slicing through the defense. And shot game clock rather will read 0.8. Again, the lockdown correction defense of LaSalle proving to be a problem here for the Hunters. Bandita breaks away from the screen, finds Sevilla, and that will be contested by Pablo. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter, 19-10, as LaSalle takes a very early commanding lead. The New Era Hunters started with a 6-0 run early in the first. As we take a look at these first quarter highlights brought to you by the Shawarma Shack. But after that first LaSalle timeout, everything was just a well-oiled machine for the Green Archers. 3 after 3, stop after stop. So can New Era come up with an answer before LaSalle gains enough steam to come up with a victory today? We'll be right back for the second quarter of the Pinoyliga Next Man Cup.
Taon ka nagtrabaho sa ibang bansa, pero ngayon, ikaw na ang boss. Sineselebrate natin ang inyong retirement. At ngayon, ikaw na ang boss. New beginnings, new independence. Dahil ngayon, ikaw na ang boss. Kung ready ka na maging boss, ready ka nang kasama ang Shawarma Shack. Daan-daang franchisees across the country ang tagumpay sa pagiging boss. Through the Shawarma Shack franchising system, step-by-step namin kayong tutulungan. That's why Shawarma Shack is now the biggest shawarma chain in the country. Gusto namin tagumpay ka. Gusto namin, ikaw na ang boss. Masaya ka bonding sa inyong tagumpay.
At isang magandang hapon sa ating mga kaliga dito sa ENDERUN Titan Gym. Fun, Fan, and Fam. This fan cam brought to you by Amelie Hotel Manila, and of course in full support, Mayor Zamora for his son Ronaldo Zamora. Yet to see action today for the LaSalle Green Archers. And the story of the first 10 minutes was LaSalle's comeback after that early outburst in the first 2 minutes of the ball game, and now they see themselves leading by 9. Parang no bright, no problem so far for LaSalle, Benny.
Oo nga eh. Si Bright Nuwangko kasi the steady hand in the middle, pero by committee mix na gagawa naman ng Dlsu Green Archers na makover yung ground na wala dahil nga wala si Bright Nuwangko.
And I think it shows more of the system that LaSalle has in place, no? As Jared Sevilla knocks down that corner triple to get the game within 6. Pero they know how they play within the system, no? Each other now. Okay, wala si Bright. Tingnan natin kung ano pa yung ma-release natin in terms of our arsenal.
Yun naman talaga yung kailangan sa isang sustainable basketball program, mix, that you're not dependent on one player alone na pag nawala yung player na yon, lalaylay na yung mga laro mo.
Dapat hindi.
Dapat hindi.
Yeah.
So, the Dlsu Green Archers, they're 18 deep if you wanna look at it that way.
Oh, yeah.
Because yung programa nila in terms of recruiting hindi natatapos eh. When you get a blue chip player, they still try to get these great players, and you know, one great player is this guy. Jacob Cortez, speaking of great, ano.
Coming from San Beda, now sporting the green and white for LaSalle.
And sporting a more mature Jacob look, ah.
Yeah.
So,
ano siya? King Lion na talaga siya. Hindi na siya King Cub eh. Pero hindi na Lion eh. King Archer.
Na eh.
Oo.
He is in his mustache era. I think that's how you wanna call Jacob ngayon, ano?
Shows the more mature look na, sabi mo, Benny.
Yep.
It shows in his game, no? And the way he facilitates, di pa natin siya nararamdaman on the side of scoring, but we always know that Cortez always has a hand in the play, always parang ready to hand out assists, dish out dimes, especially to Luis Pablo, Mason Amos. Yung mga reliable big men, sayang lang, wala si Nuangco. But quick trouble there by LaSalle. Adams kicks it out to Gallardo. Quick close and another foul by LaSalle. Almost a steal, pero Klets David Amos, the brother of Mason Amos, getting that foul there. Let's take a look at this replay.
There's a slight nudge.
Yeah, against TJ Adams there.
Off balance.
Pakinggan naman natin ang ating kwento mula sa ating courtside reporter Bianca Tagarda for more tales from the sidelines. Bianca?
Nix and Benny, what would stop a player from playing kung may kasama siyang puso sa paglalaro? New Era Hunter Serafin Duarte would not let his left thumb injury enable him para makapag-contribute to his team. Hindi man daw siya makakapaglaro 100%, but when put in court, hindi niya raw i-disappoint si Coach J. Mix and Benny, sa inyo ba, halata ba na may injuring iniinda itong si Serafin Duarte?
I actually had no idea that he had an injury, but he always plays with his heart on his sleeve, no, Benny? We noticed sa first game pa lang against Mapua, he had those crucial points late in the fourth quarter, and we already knew that he's one of the go-to guys nitong New Era program. But your thoughts, Benny?
Naalala ko, Mix, nung panahon na nagkaroon tayo ng coaches briefing and there was an interview sa coaching staff ng New Era Hunters. They talked about Serafin Duarte. Ang player comparison ng coaching staff is si Renz Abando.
Oh.
So that's the player comparison for Serafin Duarte. So talaga high on the upside kay Serafin Duarte. So let's see kung if we would live up even with the injuries.
I definitely see the comparison, no? But if we were to draw it with Renz Abando, one of the key areas that Duarte has to work on is his jumper. I mean, Renz Abando, we knew how astronomical the improvement of him with his jumper over time. So yun yung kailangan naman ma-improve nito ni Serafin. Oh, and Duarte clashing at the apex there with Forrest Marasigan and clenching onto his right bicep. Mukhang na-extend dun ng medyo sobra dun para kay Serafin. Tingnan natin to. Duarte tried to snatch the ball from Forrest. And Forrest hits the floor hard. Obviously not happy with that last incursion, but it looks like it's just a regular basketball foul.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's going to be a warning against Serafin Duarte for a resentment to a call. And right on cue, checking in is Andre Dungo, one of the big weapons of LaSalle as well, as Klets David Amos will be taking a seat on the bench.
Andre Dungo, athletic. Kung meron tayong closest comparison to Renz Abando, again, Andre Dungo.
I think it would be more of Dungo, yeah.
For the Dlsu Green Archers.
Marasigan kicks it out to Cortez. And not aware that the shot clock was LaSalle. And that's going to be the first 24-second shot clock violation courtesy of the Green Archers.
It's very significant then yung matchup na to between the New Era Hunters and the Dlsu Green Archers because it's an opportunity now for the programs outside the UAAP and the NCAA to really have a very competitive game against yung mga bigger programs, so to speak. So it is going to be very nice to see kung ano yung magiging competition dito.
Speaking of perimeter shooting, Duarte, no avail, but TJ Adams, the big man in the middle with a cleanup.
Migs.
Take a look at the shacking play of the game, brought to you by the Shawarma Shack. From nothing into something, and a three-point play opportunity for number 40.
Migs, kwento lang natin, why is TJ Adams very important? Ang player efficiency rating niya is 12.46. His points per game is 13 points, 7.5 rebounds, and look at this, 65% from the field goal. Excuse me, from the field goal. So very important, and ang galing niya pang pumasa. Kaya makikita natin how valuable TJ Adams is to the offense of the Hunters.
Kumbaga siya yung Jokic na tumatayo para sa New Era. No? He has that decent passing touch. Siguro kulang lang obviously ng perimeter shooting. Hindi naman yun yung calling card niya. But in terms of inside presence, definitely a Jokic here for the Hunters.
Oh, it shows. Like I said, PER niya is 12.46. So yung efficiency rating niya is at a high level. Hindi lang talaga siya scoring kasi you could see that he scores within the flow of the offense.
Every time he's on the floor, he impacts the game of
true.
New Era, no? In a positive manner, either in gobbling up rebounds, setting up screens na hindi naman nakikita sa stat sheet.
And just like here, makita naman natin na si TJ Adams contributes by being in the middle pag nakikita naka-hard press ang Dlsu Green Archers.
There we go, using the window. Bank is still open on a Sunday, staying in the middle and remaining that threat for the Hunters. Pablo against this Adams defense. Kicks it out to Mason. Three-pointer again for Amos. And that is a third three for Mason. He has been working on that jump shot the entire offseason. Duarte backing it up against Boris Marasigan. Tough shot. Good defense by Boris.
I'm just happy mixed with the development of Mason Amos from where he was a year ago.
And Cortez all the way to the basket. And had a few words for Serafin Duarte. 26-20. LaSalle still not able to pull away into a dominant lead. A close game here in the second quarter. We'll be right back for more second quarter action here at the Pinoyliga Next Man Cup. And not in the right jersey right now is Kian Baklaan. Kakagaling lang from wisdom tooth surgery. Parang okay lang naman.
Parang ka-chat niya siguro si Tooth Fairy. Sabi niya, okay na ako.
Okay naman daw siya. Giving us the thumbs up. And he is ready for the third game of LaSalle, hopefully. Makikita natin suited up in number, I believe he's gonna sport number 13 for LaSalle. So definitely a big addition for this LaSalle roster. Pero syempre, focusan natin ngayon is who's on the floor and who's on the bench. Here for the Green Archers, so far Mason Amos having the time of his life for LaSalle, landing 3 threes already in the game with a dunk earlier in the first quarter. Pablo always providing that threat on that pick and roll. Boris Marasigan always a physical presence. On the side of New Era naman, Sevilla landing a big corner 3 earlier. Si Tristan Tolentino hindi pa masyadong umiinit from 3, but of course the story of the ballgame for New Era has been TJ Adams.
You know how beautiful the game of TJ Adams is because he can support yung team niya if nagdadala sila ng bola, pero nandun din siya when it matters like this.
Kita natin yung gap sa gitna and TJ Adams always there, ready to receive that pass. Free throw is good, and that's also what yun din sinabi ni head coach Jay Agsalod during their last games. No? Free throws ang naging problema ng New Era dito. They're always very aggressive and physical going to the line. Pero in terms of conversion of those charity stripe shots, always an area for improvement.
That's true. Tignan natin dito kung mako-convert itong itong additional free throw for
Buti na lang pa.
Buti na lang.
Third shot is good. Score now is 22-26. Still in favor of De La Salle. Both teams in the penalty early in the second quarter.
These are the type of games, Migs, na gusto natin makita. Very tight, closely contested, matter of adjustment, and you know that the players that you want to see, ganda.
And Mason Amos putting TJ Adams in the weight room, making him look like an introvert. Down inside.
Yung bag ni Mason Amos talagang punong-puno.
And I think that's something, again, he's been working on now. Same thing with every player actually, in LaSalle, in New Era, in every team that we have in Pinoyliga. Once you reach a certain ceiling, your goal is always to breach it the next time. Kaya Tristan Tolentino, set to check in the ball game now. His calling card is a 3. Maybe he can be a defensive threat. Maybe he can slash to the basketball. Duarte, being compared to Renz Abando, working on that jump shot. Mason Amos now, nakikita natin. He can bump inside against TJ Adams pa na he is not a light, heavy bag, kumbaga, to lug around in the paint and just brushing him off like he's a guard.
Kung titignan natin mabuti, yung kanyang time with Gilas really did him well. Kung nakikipagbanggaan siya kay Justin Brownlee doon, Japet Aguilar, I think malaking bagay yun.
For sure. And it's really testament to how they take the experience. No? Kasi, syempre, may mga napupunta sa higher levels of basketball, pero hindi nakakapitalize as much as they want. But Mason Amos making prime experience of all of that. Again, Adams. I think I can call him the garbage man now. Making something from nothing all the time. Sa lahat ng airball, yun, no? Parang tinapo na lang ni Basabi ka doon. But Adams, the collector. Siguro, kumbaga, collecting rebounds, collecting bodies, and collecting fouls with free throws on the way for TJ.
He's gonna cherry pick at this point because he's the tallest player in the in the court right now, and he doesn't have a match up to begin with because Mason is really a 3-4.
Yeah. And you know, Mason Amos having a tall order here against Adams. No? Puwera na lang siguro if nasa perimeter ang labanan. Mason has a better chance, but in the post, TJ probably has a better chance.
In that case, you know, Mason, quick draw niya na 3-point shot. I mentioned in the last broadcast mix that Mason is now capable of 3-level scoring. And nagkakaroon siya ng masterclass ngayon. He's showing to us the bag from the 3, from the mid-range, and yung bump niyang kanina na floater against TJ Adams. That's something that you haven't seen from Mason before. And I also mentioned how mature yung post-game ni Mason, which we haven't seen here, pero definitely makikita natin at some point.
Well, it's going to be a tougher thing here for Mason Amos. If he's going to post up against the likes of TJ Adams, definitely will have a better chance for Mason here if he attacks downhill. Pero tingnan natin itong last call. No? There is a contention on the side of the coaching staff of New Era. If it was last touch by Amos or was it last touch by Adams? But it looked like it was off of Mason there. But referee still reviewing this last play. And the head coach's challenge of New Era being successful there. So ball will go back to New Era. Pero laging maagang gumamit ng coach's challenge itong si Coach Jay Agsalud. No? Parang di pa ako nakikita na fourth quarter siya nag-challenge. Laging second or third yan.
Hey, side story lang about Coach Jay Agsalud. He used to be the coach for the ICC Blue Hawks. You know, he was one of the guys that really got a lot of talents in.
TJ Adams again, collecting, selecting, and converting. Getting yet another offensive rebound. Wala akong pakialam kung may Mason Amos ka, Luis Pablo, Alex Konov, kahit magsama-sama pa daw kayo, even 40 men can't stop him because that's his jersey number. 40 men against him, he still is probably the victor. But again, the challenge here for TJ Adams is, can he stay consistent at the free throw line for New Era? As ngayon lang, kakamiss niya lang.
What
New Era
others
now
don't
above by
see,
1.
mix kay TJ Adams is yung kanyang haba ng kamay, yung kanyang bias. Mahaba siya. Hindi lang siya matangkad, mahaba siya.
And down the line, Adams with a rejection. And down the other side, it's David. Just couldn't save it in time as Amos collects it for Lasal. Dungo, downhill against challenging Adams. But TJ accepts it. And Basabi said, relax lang tayo. We still have 18 seconds on the shot clock. David to TJ, trying from deep. The bench would have erupted if that's gone in. Pero, you know, alam na natin kung ano yung strength niya and kung ano yung weakness niya. And speaking of weaknesses, time to check in kung ano yung mga kailangan natin lang pag-usapan ngayon as TJ Adams with a block. Lasal will call timeout as the Hunters take a 1-point lead. We'll be right back for more action. Lasal will talk things over as their lead just seemingly disappeared. Now New Era taking on a 1-point lead, 29-28. And now a fan of New Era obviously saying, it's over. As nakikita natin, umiinit na dito si TJ Adams. First quarter, it has been a show for Mason Amos. Eksakto, nabigyan na ako ng segue nung fan na yun from New Era. It has been all about TJ Adams now.
Yeah. Tignan din natin, Migs, where did LaSalle bounce back during their Ateneo game? It was the third quarter where they intensified their defense. So, let's see.
And the audience obviously loving the show here for game number 1 between the Green Archers of LaSalle and the Hunters from New Era dito sa ENDERUN Titan Gym sa Taguig. So if you're in the area, we still have one more game later on between Ateneo naman and San Sebastian. But if you're on the road, if you're not quite near here, you can catch our games live on Facebook and YouTube. Just follow us at the Pinoyliga Cup.
Let's also mention, Mix, that we're also being live streamed over the Smart Sports
Sa Smart Sports
Facebook page. Ano?
Yes,
Marami
pwede
rin
tayo
makakapanood sa atin doon.
and all the talents na pwede na lang mapanood. Hindi na lang sa NCAA, hindi lang sa NAASCU, but also here sa Pinoyliga where all of these guys eager to prove themselves for kaya ko mag-Team A sa New Era, kaya ko mag-Team A sa LaSalle. Pero actually, speaking of Team A, itong New Era na to, wala silang segregation sa Team B and Team A. This entire roster is their team. Wala silang next man, wala silang man. Ito na talaga.
Yun nga na-mention ni Coach Jay Dlsu. He's trying to create a winning program on that part of Commonwealth, of course, for the New Era community. I think he's doing great. It's a step towards the right direction by being here sa atin, no, sa Pinoyliga Cup.
And they're also being anchored by Vincent Nablo winning the MVP about 2 years ago in another league. So definitely a leader also that they can look up to. Pero pinaupo muna dito si TJ Adams, mukhang magpapahinga. So pinasok yung 2 mini towers, as I'd like to call them. Itong si Sevilla and si Manzano.
You mentioned, Mix, James Manzano is the captain of
New
the
Era
team.
Yeah.
And ito nga si Jared Sevilla is one of the best talents to come out of the program. And they're gonna be counted upon ngayon na wala na si TJ Adams. Let's see, because they have 2 minutes. They're here. No? They're in the ball game.
I think they already have the height that is required to fill in the shoes of TJ Adams. But if there's something that they can work on in the offseason or probably the next leagues to come, it's their build. They have to have a wide enough build to keep up with bigs such as TJ Adams, Mason Amos, Bright Nuwanko, any FSA like Kenneth Uwumba for ENDERUN. We have Trex de los Reyes of Mapua. These guys have to improve their width. Kumbaga, as Tungo with a shot clock winding down and lands a long 3 for the Green Archers.
That was a dagger for the LaSalle Green Archers kasi wala na yung clock paubos na.
But nakikita natin, sa half-court set, nahihirapan na rin itong Green Archers mag-convert. So credit the defense of the Hunters, locking down on their primary defenders and communicating on defense. But it looks like there's gonna be another leak out as Cortez with a touchdown.
It's a 4-point onslaught, 5-point onslaught from the De La Salle Green Archers. They're trying to close it out strong.
And Tolentino drawing the foul against Andre Dungo.
Very smart play on the part of Tolentino, knowing that the De La Salle Green Archers are in the penalty. At close out si Dungo, nakita niya.
Let's take a look at this Eastern Communications assist of the game to Jacob Cortez for a touchdown layup for the La Salle Green Archers. And Tolentino yet to find his momentum here in this ball game. He was 0 out of 3 now, I believe, in this ball game. Wala pa rin pumapasok para sa kanya. So Arambulo now set to check in for the Hunters.
Shooters will shoot, Mix.
Always.
Shooters will shoot. So
Always.
Tolentino, expect him to shoot more.
And yun naman kasi talaga lagi sinasabi ni Coach Jay Agsalud dito sa kanya, na if you have a little opportunity, pag nag-init ka naman, it will pay dividends for us. If hindi pumasok, okay, we'll take it possession by possession, one possession at a time, but definitely a tall order with LaSalle on the other side of the court, as Pablo now scoring his first 2, extending the lead to 4.
Matthew Rubico, haven't seen yung kanyang outburst like what he did The last time, he had
Sa
12
Ateneo.
points on 5 of 8 shooting. Tignan natin.
Tolentino now from the corner. Finally gets it in for the Hunters.
And shooters will shoot, Migs.
And now
Shooters will
shooting 25%, I believe, 1 out of 4. Game clock running down. Little to no difference between shot and game clock for the first half. At the helm is Matthew Rubico. Shot clock reads 4. On an island. Swiped away. Dive for the ball. And questionable play there for LaSalle as Matthew Rubico just found himself on an island with Lauzon and forcing that turnover for New Era.
Wow, New Era has a chance to take the lead before the end of the half.
Yep. And checking in with 2.4 remaining for Sevilla is etong si Alejandro Pandita. I wonder why he was being checked in. Probably a wider screen setter.
Most probably.
No screen setter. Tolentino loses it. And that's just going to be the final seconds now. And shot clock not going off, but that will be the end of the second quarter for the New Era Hunters and the LaSalle Green Archers, with a chance to take on the lead there. Rubico and Lauzon exchanging a bit of a handshake there as a nod to the defense of Lauzon in that last possession. That's going to be the end of the first 20 minutes. New Era had an answer, LaSalle responds, New Era has another answer, and LaSalle responds. It is a game of absolute runs here for the Hunters and the Green Archers. And let's see what we will have for the second half as Mason Amos just taking over the first quarter. TJ Adams late in the second quarter nag-collect, select, and convert nga naman para sa Hunters. So definitely a stacked first game for both of these teams. We'll be right back for the second half. 36-35 is our score.
Sampung taon ka nagtrabaho sa ibang bansa, pero ngayon, ikaw na ang boss. Sineselebrate natin ang inyong retirement. At ngayon, ikaw na ang boss. New beginnings, new independence. Dahil ngayon, ikaw na ang boss. Kung ready ka na maging boss, ready ka nang kasama ang Shawarma Shack. Daan-daang franchisees across the country ang tagumpay sa pagiging boss. Through the Shawarma Shack franchising system, step-by-step namin kayong tutulungan. That's why Shawarma Shack is now the biggest shawarma chain in the country. Gusto namin tagumpay ka. Gusto namin, ikaw na ang boss. Masaya ka bonding sa inyong tagumpay.
We started ang family business talaga namin. Talaga sari-sari store ang negosyo namin. So sa sari-sari store namin, same building, meron kaming on the side na dress shop. Yan ang sabi ni Mama. Dress shop, hindi pa to sports. I mean, nagagawa lang kami, nagre-repair lang kami ng mga damit. From there, may pumunta sa kanyang friend or client na nagpagawa ng parang how many pieces of t-shirts. So from there, yung makina niya, kaya naman gawin yung shirt, doon na nag-start yung paggawa niya ng uniforms. Kung paano yung sinimulan ni Mama, siguro yun pa rin naman yung nararamdaman namin. Pero in a different perspective na. Talagang pag nanood ngayon tayo ng TV, when we watch yung different sports, kunyari nanood tayo ng basketball, makikita natin yung PBA. Pag nanood tayo ng volleyball, makikita natin yung LGR. Iba na yung pakiramdam na yung brand is overall, nakikita na lahat.
Mga kaliga, for this afternoon, we have another special halftime interview as I'm here with two of the Green Archers, namely Kian Baclaan and of course Mike Phillips. Now, first of all po, thank you so much for joining me in this halftime interview. Pero unahin na po natin itong si Kian. Now, Kian, namimiss ka na nga raw ng mga fans mo and inaabangan nila na maglaro ka dito sa Pinoyliga Next Man Cup. You're one of the rising stars of Philippine Collegiate Basketball. Now, what are you looking forward to as you wear the Dlsu jersey?
For me lang, syempre, ito yung dream ko makapaglaro sa college din. Syempre, karamihan naman sa mga student athlete, ang dream nila makapaglaro sa LaSalle, di ba? So, isa rin ako sa nabigyan ng blessings na makapaglaro sa green and white. Then, syempre, yun nga, ito yung preparation namin coming sa season 88 na yun, para mabawi namin yung nangyari last year.
Yes, and as for Mike Phillips, now you're one of the veterans and seniors in your team. But how excited are you to play for season 88, knowing that most of the players you see in court right now, in this ENDERUN court, will soon be your teammates in the UAAP floor?
Yun nga, sobrang excited ako kasi kahit veteran na ako sa team, parang araw-araw may natutunan ako sa kanila. Kung baka kahit every single day is different with them. Sobrang mataas yung energy nila, sobrang close kaming lahat. At napapasalamat palagi ako sa Pinoyliga kasi dito papakita lahat ng teams. May mga pakakataon na makalaban yung mga, siyempre, new era na hindi usually makikita sa UAP or sa NCAA. So, Pinoyliga is always one of the number one, pre-seasons that we've seen. So we're always excited to see kung paano kami maging close at paano kami maging kami.
And of course, Mike, nagpapasalamat din sa iyo ang Pinoyliga for admiring us and for dropping by here and watching the game. And we hope to see you then for the next games to come. Pero may gusto ba kayong batiin, i-shoutout or pasalamatan?
Yun, binabati ko lang yung baby ko, yung birthday niya ngayon. So, after nito, diretso ako dun. Yun lang.
Ayan, happy birthday to your baby, Kian Baclaan. Now for Mike Phillips, would you like to give a shoutout, a thank you, or to greet someone? This is your opportunity.
Gusto ko ma-shoutout kay Amare, yung baby ni EJ Goya na yung birthday ni baby ni Kian, and siya kakaanak lang nung isang araw. So, yun po.
Thank you so much again, Kian Baclaan, and again, Mike Phillips, for joining me in this halftime interview. Ngayon, ayan lamang para sa ngayon mga kaliga. Tutok lang po kayo dahil magbabalik ang Pinoyliga Next Man Cup.
10 taon ka nagtrabaho sa ibang bansa, pero ngayon, ikaw na ang boss. Sineselebrate natin ang inyong retirement. At ngayon, ikaw na ang boss. New beginnings,
nakikita natin because of course he's the tallest guy, he's the longest guy on the court for both teams. So Adams will really have a grand time in getting the rebounds. He's also here top scoring for the Hunters because he's getting the second chance points. I mean, he's the priority on offense pag nandun sa low post ang New Era Hunters.
And for the rest of the top scorers, Sevilla has 7. Tristan Tolentino still yet to find his mark with 5. Amos having a little show for himself with 9 in the first quarter. Cortez with 5 and Barasigan and Konov have 5 apiece. So 3 players for the LaSalle Green Archers having 5 points each. Wala pang masyadong dumadaig in terms of offensive contribution. Still being able to effectively share the sugar is this De La Salle squad and New Era. Mukhang okay yung defense na ini-implement nila, and it's just testament to how big this game is. Look at the crowd that we have right now here at the ENDERUN Titan Gym supporting their home teams either in LaSalle or in New Era. Pero alam natin, no, kapag New Era, laging malaki yung crowd, maganda yung outing, maganda yung turn ng mga tao, turn around ng mga tao. Maganda rin yung sa LaSalle. It's always, lalo na pag Ateneo LaSalle din. We already covered during the previous games, but definitely it feels like first quarter pa lang yung dumaan. Ang dami nang nangyari, pero here we are with 20 more minutes of basketball.
A testament to the way that New Era plays their game. They play hard and they give out a very nice game every time they play here. And same with LaSalle. You know what to expect with the De La Salle Green Archers program. They play hard, they play tough. They're also at the top tier. Ano? Hindi naman yan hindi naman basta-basta. They're a championship team. Kaya importante dito ngayon itong pasok ng third quarter, like I mentioned kanina, Migs, the time that the De La Salle Green Archers, busted out of their Ateneo game was the third quarter. And yung game na yon, that was the time dun sa third quarter that they did the full court press, that they tightened, that they locked in on the defense. Let's see if that's the same thing that's gonna happen this quarter.
Actually, speaking of that third quarter outburst by LaSalle, now that we're at the halfway mark of the ball game, New Era down by 1, 36-35 against LaSalle. Starting with the Green Archers, what do they have to specifically lock in on for the next 20 minutes to come up with a win? And then we'll talk about New Era right after that.
By committee, box out, identifying where TJ Adams is so that they could get the best chance to get the rebound. I think that's the best thing that they can do right now.
I agree, definitely. Na yun talaga kasi yung kailangan nilang tutukan. Mason Amos can't take him one-on-one. Pablo can't take him one-on-one. But on the side naman of the Hunters, LaSalle now has to rebound collectively as a team and convert those possessions into points. Sa New Era naman, anong kailangan nilang tutukan?
Cliche, but execution. That's nothing more than just executing it right so that manigate nyo yung De La Salle Green Archers na offense din.
And Tristan Tolentino right on cue, landing that bank shot of a three-pointer, executing that play. Cortez down to Amos on the low block. That is basic basketball.
2 years ago, you don't see that from Mason Amos.
Oh yeah.
But right now, his bag is really full.
And miscommunicating on that pass was Nablo and Tolentino. So that will go back to De La Salle. Score is tied at 38.
Talked about Nablo, but we talk about also Alvin Basabica, King Gallardo, Jomar Glavio. These are the guards of the New Era Hunters na talagang titignan din natin.
And Basabica sorry, that's not Basabica. This is number 38. This is Lauzon, Jonver Lauzon of the New Era Hunters, just back rolling on that last possession with Cortez. And the coaching staff of New Era obviously not liking that call against Lauzon as they're trying to plead for an offensive foul call. But it looked like it was just a normal basketball bump. Lauzon was just not in normal position. Pero Cortez now, regardless, with free throws now.
It turns out that, if you look at the build now of Jacob Cortez, parang
Iba na eh.
iba na.
I mean, in general, we've seen a more lanky Cortez in the NCAA when he was sporting the red and white for San Beda. But now in LaSalle, I'd say a much more mature build, no? It fits his game a lot more na sakto sa pagsiksik sa mga screen, sakto sa pakikipagbanggaan on those on the low block. He can post up as a guard, but it looks like our scoreboard is experiencing a bit of technical difficulties. Aayusin muna natin yan. But on the topic of Cortez, no, nakita natin yung development niya through the years. He started with Sambeda, now with LaSalle. Pretty much very the same with Kian Baclan in his interview earlier with Bianca Tagarda. No? A lot of student athletes dream to play in college here in the Philippines. No? Nagkataon na Kian's dream is playing for LaSalle. But Jacob Cortez, also the son of Mike Cortez, the cool cut for LaSalle. Pero mamaya na ulit natin yung kwentuhan. Time out muna tayo. We'll be right back after these messages.
10 taon ka nagtrabaho sa ibang bansa, pero ngayon, ikaw na ang boss. Sineselebrate natin ang inyong retirement. At ngayon, ikaw na ang boss. New beginnings, new independence. Dahil ngayon, ikaw na ang boss. Kung ready ka na maging boss, ready ka nang kasama ang Shawarma Shack. Daan-daang franchisees across the country ang tagumpay sa pagiging boss. Through the Shawarma Shack franchising system, step-by-step namin kayong tutulungan. That's why Shawarma Shack is now the biggest shawarma chain in the country. Gusto namin tagumpay ka. Gusto namin, ikaw na ang boss. Masaya ka bonding sa inyong tagumpay.
And we are back now for more action of the Pinoyliga Next Man Cup. The last incursion was Jacob Cortez shooting those free throws from a foul by Lauzon. And it looks like the possession now will go to New Era. To LaSalle, I believe. As if I'm not mistaken, a technical was whistled. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not so sure. Pero never mind, it looks like it's gonna be New Era ball after that free throw by Jacob. Score now is 39-38 in favor of the De La Salle Green Archers. Kanina, nakalamang na ng 6-0 ang New Era during the first quarter, but now it is a neck-and-neck ball game at 39-38.
They're figuring out something on the technical side, I guess.
Ngayon, try natin ayusin yung score, pero mapunta lang natin sa laro ulit. New Era now has Nablo, Tolentino, Adams, Sevilla, and Lauzon as their 5 here in the third quarter. LaSalle has Cortez. We have Ethan Alian, who we have yet to see in this ball game to erupt. We have Boris Marasigan, Amos, and Pablo for the Green Archers. Nablo getting that pick from Sevilla, but not using it. Three-pointer, Lauzon, no. Marasigan now will bring it down for Lasal. Giving a pump to Tolentino, but another foul by Tristan.
Boris Marasigan taking the action by himself, and I think meron na siya talagang capability, yung kanyang longer runway. Ika nga, no, Migs, ayan, pinakita na natin.
Oh, and that's obviously a foul against Tristan Tolentino. There was a secondary bump after that initial bump by Marasigan. Cortez being guarded by Adams on the backcourt. Amos receives it, trying to give it to Marasigan. Adams do double teams, but Marasigan at the last second draining that perimeter shot. And just a bit of defensive adjustment here for New Era, no? But still, LaSalle finding an answer.
Let's see how they capitalize on TJ Adams being on the floor, kasi yung kanilang efficiency at saka yung kanilang production mas mataas pag nandyan siya.
Nablo missing on that floater. A much taller and stronger Pablo is facing off against Adams, and Cortez not being able to finish. Still on the floor on the other side, grasping onto his arm area. Three-pointer no good for the Hunters, as Alian will collect the board, and it looks like Cortez still clenching onto that arm or hand, I believe. Hopefully he's okay now. Our medic on his way there to check on him. Looks like it's his stomach or his...
He looks like the wind got knocked out of him.
Yeah. He was hit where the sun don't shine. And it looks like... let's take a look at this replay now to see what happened. Cortez driving against Lauzon there. And then Sevilla. Oh, and there's the off arm of Sevilla trying to ward off that drive. Dun tumama kay Cortez. And it looks like he's fine. You know, as a basketball player na professional yan sila Cortez, for sure sanay na mga yan sa pagpapatama dun sa area na yon. But the LaSalle coaching staff obviously in resentment, trying to ask for a call on that last incursion. And it looks like the referees have a whistle here, trying to confirm what the final call will be. And the game announcer already mentioned na wala namang foul during that last play. A shot was already emitted by the Green Archers on the other side. So it looks like play will resume as normal, and it will be LaSalle ball.
It's getting heated. Migs, although syempre nandiyan naman, nakakontrol naman yung ating mga referees.
Yeah.
They're on top of it, and play resume with the Archers with the ball, 41-38.
Marasigan kicks it to Alian. 3-point lead here for the Archers.
This is the first time that we saw Ethan Alian in the ball game, Migs.
Yep. Also one of the reliable scorers of the Green Archers squad. Itong si Ethan Alian alongside Matthew Rubico. Itong si Luis Pablo, hindi pa masyadong nakukuha yung touch nila in this ball game. And that's just how deep the roster is for LaSalle. Same thing with New Era, with the 10-man rotation. LaSalle, you mentioned, arguably is 18 deep.
Yes.
And speaking of depth, Pablo swimming into deeper waters there against Adams. Duarte thwarted by Marasigan. Being bothered by the defense there. Adams kicks it to the corner to Sevilla.
That was a good find by TJ Adams. Just didn't fall in, but when you see kung ano yung kanyang mentality, pag nakakakuha siya ng bola, he looks for open shots, open teammates, and that's instinct, ano? Isang big man instinct na very, very nice to see in an FSA like TJ Adams.
And Pablo and Adams going at it. After Pablo was whistled for a foul earlier against holding Adams. 14 on the shot clock now for the Hunters. Cortez guarding the inbound. Kicks it out to Duarte. tend to work with. That's his shot. That drive from that wing is the main weapon of Serafin Duarte. Cortez spinning away from the defense. Ang bilis ng bagal but thwarted by Adams. Down the other side is Lauzon to Sevilla. Lays it up low and Adams with a putback.
Wow.
Dunk on him, young fella. And the bench of New Era on its feet. Chance of defense coming from the Hunters. Adams again showing hard on that screen. Amos looking to silence the crowd. Down the hatch.
Wow, we are looking at a very, very nice game. A quality game for the Dlsu Green Archers and the New Era Hunters.
Sevilla answers back with a shot of his own. And New Era has gathered a new source of energy. Drops it off to Pablo, blocked by Adams, but foul will be called on TJ. It started with a drive from Duarte down the other end, and then was put back. Sevilla with a miss, and Adams trailing after everybody, and that's what you love to see if you're the New Era Hunters. Your big man running the floor in transition.
This is nothing new to the Pinoyliga Cup audience. Nakikita natin talaga si TJ Adams. He runs the break. He runs those.
Always does.
Yung
Always does.
rim run ni TJ Adams also is something good for a big man like him.
Pablo makes that 2 free throws. And Sevilla will bring it down here for the Hunters. 2-point lead now for Lasal. And trying to slip that screen was Alian. 3-pointer on the way, short. Lasal with another chance now. Marasigan. Forward to Alian, but New Era defense already set. Hand off to Alian. Kicks it out to Flores. Cortez fakes on the 3. Short. But with the offensive rebound is Alian. Marasigan, no. And whistled for the foul is Sevilla. And now to the free throw line again is Luis Pablo as he tried to go for the O-rep, and the team captain of the Hunters on his way back now to the floor, James Manzano. Tolentino also now for the Hunters checking in. And Pablo making that first free throw. 5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter.
Luis Pablo, I mentioned before, Migs, he's primed for that same succession as that of Jonel Policarpio, Kevin Kiambao,
Definitely.
and Raven Gonzalez. So he has a very nice season 88 to look forward to.
I think it's Raven Cortez, Benny, no?
Raven Gonzalez, because he
Raven Gonzalez.
used now his mother's name. He changed yung Cortez niya last season to Gonzalez.
Oh, so magka-apelido na pala kami.
Yes, that's true.
Ganyan talaga mga Gonzalez magagaling sa basketball.
Oo.
Either sa laro or sa usapan lang.
Yes.
Doon
and
ako
he's-
sa latter.
Yes, and he's now part of the Abra Weavers
Yes.
in the MPBL.
And I believe he's being joined by also from an arch-rival school, David Defonso.
Yes.
Yes, for the Abra Weavers. Konov now checking in for Amos. Will be getting a well-deserved breather is Mason. 14 on the shot clock now for the Hunters. 3-pointer for Tolentino. Quick trigger, Duarte with the O-rip. Skies for the layup. Another board. Tries to take matters into his own hands. Could have gotten away with a double dribble. But Duarte, quick 4 points here in the third.
That's a bundle like.
Yep. And Adams swallows up the board again. Pushing the issue is Aldrich David. Trying to beat the defense of Alian. Great move by Aldrich David. Freezing the defense of De La Salle. And now the lead is up by 1 for New Era.
This is really something that I think New Era has prepared for. They understand how the La Salle Juggernaut does their thing on quarter 3. Katulad nga na nakita natin against the Ateneo Blue Eagles in their first game.
And Pablo not being able to get that foul against Tolentino. Play continues. David Down the lane again. Similar shot, no good. Adams bothered that shot enough, but LaSalle gets the ball. Forres battles Tolentino. Spin move. Drops it off to Konov. And again, the defense of New Era says absolutely not.
New Era is just doing it at both ends of the floor in the offense. You know, go hard sila eh. Hindi sila natatakot dun sa depensa ng De La Salle Green Archers, knowing that they don't have a bright Nuangco.
And a quick steal there by Konov, being converted by Alian. Heading into this ball game, actually the New Era Hunters are the favorites, having a 3-1 record with the current first seed in their group. LaSalle being the fourth seed with only 1 victory so far. But it looks like it's going to be a pushing foul against number 22. I believe that is Aldrich David. Let's take a look at this replay here. David. Tinatry lang niyang kumawala sa defense doon, and that's going to be against Tristan Tolentino, rather.
Migs, point out natin, Ethan Alian yata became the magic bunot for Coach Oliver
I'd say
Buni.
so.
Yeah.
And to speak more tales from the sidelines, pakinggan natin si Bianca Tagarda, our courtside reporter. Bianca?
Mix and Benny, commercial muna tayo sa napakainit na laban. It's not the social media hype that fuels Matthew Rubico to play for LaSalle, but it's the honor of wearing the green and white jersey. Homegrown nga raw siya from Lipa, Batangas, and 2 years na siya in LaSalle, Manila. Matthew's one of the top scorers last game versus the rival Ateneo, and for this game, isa rin siya sa mga tinatagong alas ni Coach Oliver. Pero maiba naman, matanong ko lang sa panel, Migs and Benny, gaano ba kainit itong third quarter natin?
Thank you, Bianca. And speaking of magic bunot, it's not just Ethan Alian, but also Matthew Rubico. One of the aces up the sleeve of head coach Oliver Buni is Adams. Absolutely erases that shot from the face of the earth.
Wow, this is a nice basketball game that we're having.
Adams double teamed there on the low post and loses that ball to LaSalle. Down the lane is Dungo. Sorry, Dungo now for the three. Wing! It goes! Andre Dungo. We've talked about Ethan Alian. We've talked about Matthew Rubico. But Andre Dungo says, don't forget about me. I can score for the Archers too.
Wow, it's back and
Another
forth
defensive
defense and offense makes.
Another stop for the New Era. And foul will be picked up, I believe, by Ethan Alian. And going back sa tanong mismo ni Bianca, hindi na natin nasagot, Benny. Pero gaano kainit ang third quarter, mapapatanggal na ako ng coat. Gaano kainit, Benny. Hindi ko na alam kung ano pang descriptor ang pwede kong sabihin. It's defensive stop after defensive stop, good read after good read. There are some lapses here and there, but both teams make up for it either with a defensive stop or a cold shot to defeat the run of the opposing team. And now LaSalle is up by 4.
They
Sevilla.
both want it, Migs.
Oh,
Both
they
teams,
want
they
it
want
really
it.
bad.
They want it bad.
Duarte just snatching that ball from Amos. And in a bit of a scuffle was Duarte and Amos, but looks like it's all fine now. As Amos just wisely walking away from the action. He knows kung ano yung mga pwedeng mangyari kung pumatol siya. Same thing with Duarte.
And I think both teams realize the beauty of just walking away.
Yep. Let's see there underneath, no, Duarte trying to get that ball from Amos. Just tries to, mukhang naipit ng konti yung kamay doon ni Amos as he was trying to twist the hand, no, of Mason, but looks like no bad blood naman. They know that it's just a normal scuffle for the ball. As I believe referees are reviewing that last one. But
I think the coaches are really on top of their teams. Like we see the coaching staff of the Dlsu Green Archers, you know, they're controlling the players and the emotions that come with playing at this high intensity game that they have. You know, I think the Dlsu Green Archers expected this from the New Era Hunters.
yeah.
They know how they play. They have been scouted real well. And si New Era Hunters naman, Migs, I'm sure that they're looking forward to these types of games because
Absolutely.
you know, for their program, this is something big for them as well.
And we already see the adjustments of LaSalle, no? Coming into this ball game as they defend New Era, nakikita natin kung paano yung rotation nila kay Adams, kung paano i-thwart yung three-point threat in Tristan Tolentino. So, ngayon, it's now up to LaSalle to capitalize. It's also same for New Era as TJ Adams takes a seat, who is having the game of his life. Duarte, just stopped by Rubico in his tracks. Just running into a brick wall of Matthew. Sevilla, big shot if it goes. Short. Rebounded now by Romero. Stopping on a dime is Santi. Duarte. Rubico to Amos. Uses the window, but Sevilla swallows the board.
Very intense ball game, to say the least, Migs. If you guys are in here inside the ENDERUN Titans gym, you would know the difference.
Duarte kicks it to Manzano. Trying to think of his next move. Three-pointer by Labio. And follow-up floater is good. Nobody boxing him out. That was Nablo. Dumo brings it down quickly for LaSalle. Being bothered by Nablo. And on the inside is Konov as he's fouled by Jared Sevilla.
That was a good dribble drive play on the part of the Dlsu Archers.
Sorry, that's a foul against Serafin Duarte. And Nablo, nobody boxing him out on that three. Everybody was just busy looking at Sevilla and Manzano. Nobody boxing out the shooter. Konov at the free throw line makes the first one. Again, you mentioned Benny, this guy was highly recruited from the States. We know that he's a shooter. Nakikita, but now ginagamit siya ni Oliver Buni as an inside threat.
Yeah.
So definitely some versatility being displayed here by Alex.
Yeah, I think he could template his game from number 30, Mason Amos.
Oh yeah, he could. He has the build for it. Siguro konting lakas pa, konting width pa. But he's gonna get there.
So you might be seeing double at this point by next season.
And I believe that is going to be a foul against Santi Romero. Caught with a hold against Nablo. And both teams in the penalty now, so that's going to be free throws for Nablo. Pandita set to check in for New Era. Uupo muna dito si Jared Sevilla. So now at the free throw line, Vincent Nablo. New to the Pinoyliga scene, but we've seen him everywhere in his other leagues. We know what he can do offensively, defensively, not really known as a stopper, but we know that he can facilitate for his team. We know that he can score. So definitely an option up Coach Jay's sleeve. With 17 seconds remaining in the third. Second shot is in. Now LaSalle can go for the last shot here in the third quarter. Rubico being recruited from LPU. Dungo trying to find Amos. But Dungo will take it for himself. Goes up and all the way, no contest. And no help defense there for New Era. And that's going to be the end of the third quarter, 56-51. Andre Dungo finishing with a free lane to the basket, putting them up by 5 against the Hunters. These are your third quarter highlights brought to you by the Shawarma Shack. And looks like New Era is slowly getting their air blown out of them. LaSalle finding more momentum possession after possession, and the shots just going in for this LaSalle squad. Can Tristan Tolentino heat up for the Hunters here, or will other options step up to the plate for New Era? We'll be right back for the fourth quarter. Stay tuned to the Pinoyliga Next Man Cup.
10 taon ka nagtrabaho sa ibang bansa, pero ngayon, ikaw na ang boss. Sineselebrate natin ang inyong retirement. At ngayon, ikaw na ang boss. New beginnings, new independence. Dahil ngayon, ikaw na ang boss. Kung ready ka na maging boss, ready ka nang kasama ang Shawarma Shack. Daan-daang franchisees across the country ang tagumpay sa pagiging boss. Through the Shawarma Shack franchising system, step by step namin kayong tutulungan. That's why Shawarma Shack is now the biggest shawarma chain in the country. Gusto namin tagumpay ka. Gusto namin ikaw na ang boss. Masaya ka bonding sa inyong tagumpay.
And the final 10 minutes are now upon us in this nail-biter of a ball game between the De La Salle Green Archers and the Hunters from the New Era University. Now it's fourth quarter time, Benny. What does New Era have to do to get back this lead and eventually come up with a victory today?
Composure. It has to be within the flow of the system, knowing that, even if this is the De La Salle Green Archers that they're facing, that this is just another team. That they just need to be composed, one play at a time.
Let's see kung magiging composed nga ang Hunter team na ito against this Green Archer squad. David with a pick and roll to Manzano. Beautiful pass to Adams with a throwdown.
Wow.
Beautiful ball movement there for New Era. Started with David, then Manzano with an extra pass to Adams and dunks it on two Archers.
We're just seeing TJ Adams masterclass here.
And Adams getting that foul as he draws that from Alex Konov, I believe. We have to get that replay. That shot is so nice, you have to see it twice. David Manzano to Adams against Amos and Romero. Welcome to your TikTok moment. TJ Adams just rising above the defense. Taller than everybody else, obviously. Nagulat na lang si Gallardo dun.
You could just see how the impact of TJ Adams is to the offense of the New Era Hunters. They're energized.
For sure.
They have a go-to. They have an emergency pass at the end of that possession. I think yun yung nabibigay na intangible ni TJ Adams. Yung mindset na pagdating ng 20 to 24 seconds nung shot clock namin, at least merong ganun.
And full court press again as La Salle gets another turnover. Rubico will reset. Calls the play for La Salle. Amos receives it. And a little miscue on that one as New Era gets back the ball. Not sure what that play was supposed to be, but Amos passing to the cutting Konov, pero hindi lang nag-correct yung pasa na yun. David being bothered in the backcourt, gives it to Gallardo. Alley-oop to Adams, just short. Hitting that rim there. Could have been another momentum shift for New Era.
Yeah. You could see how New Era has prepared for this.
Let's take a look at this quarter scoring. 90-10 in the first, second quarter deadlock 36-35, and third quarter 56-51. Nakita natin La Salle taking control of the first and third quarter, outscoring the Hunters. But right now, the fourth quarter is anybody's ballgame.
Oh, definitely.
La Salle is up 5. New Era is just down by a very small margin. We've seen them come back from bigger.
Oh.
And Adams again, the collector down low.
This is TJ Adams at the end of the day.
Amos stops on a dime, blocked by Adams. Great hustle by the New Era big man. David passing it to the middle, but contested by Konov. Tried to pass it to Romero, but nope.
You know what I liked about what TJ Adams did there? He did it on offense. Tumakbo siya papunta sa depensa
It's like he
to
doesn't
get
get
that
tired.
chase down block.
He doesn't get tired. He spots up on offense, he knows his spot, and then he can run back on defense and contest a three-pointer.
That's true.
David getting that pick from Adams. Cuts it out to Manzano. Little drop step in the middle, but well contested by Pablo. Cortez sees daylight. Adams says absolutely not. And Cortez hits the sign. Hopefully he is okay. Adams also crawling out a bit. Checking up on Cortez, and Adams just chasing that.
Wow.
All the way from Commonwealth QC.
We just have we're just at all with this type of game. You know, this is how college basketball should be played. Full of intensity, full of fire from both ends.
We're seeing a renewed TJ Adams in this game. Absolutely. I mean, New Era has gone through 4 games, but I don't think we've seen a TJ Adams of this caliber yet. We know he can defend, we know he can get rebounds, but to do it consistently in one game, that's something we haven't seen yet as Dungo switches hands mid-air, gets that conversion for Lasal.
Wow. Andre Dungo slowly showing everyone that I could be that starting forward, the starting swing guard, swing player for the Dlsu Green Archers.
Manzano, David splitting the defense. Gallardo all day to shoot, gets the corner to go.
Perfect execution for the New Era Hunters.
Cortez all the way to the basket, up and under move. How did he do that? Where did the ball come from?
Wow.
Cortez just manufacturing that ball from his hands, disappearing. Look at this. I don't know what language he speaks, pati yung cameraman napa-ankle breaker.
Oo nga
Hindi
eh.
na nakakip up sa tira ni Cortez.
But that's an intelligent play, Mix, because he did early offense. Kasi nakita niya kung nasan yung offense. Nabasa niya eh.
Yeah.
And that's just an intelligent play from on the part of course, Jacob Cortez.
And that's been his talent since Sambede. He knows when he can attack the fast break. He knows when the defense isn't set. He gets that gap, makes it work, and gets an end one in the process. Now, it's again a 5-point lead.
Yeah,
for
early
Lasal.
offense, rim run, yun ang ginawa niya eh. Nothing more.
David.
But it was very impactful.
And Gallardo being doubled there, and Cortez gets a steal. Intelligent basketball there by Jacob. Here we go again. Trying to attack. Kicks it out, Konov. Three-pointer, no. Could have been big for Lasal. Cortez, all day to shoot. Short. Konov with a rebound blocked from behind by Sevilla. And the defense of New Era picking up again as Tolentino checks in for the Hunters.
What you see here, Migs, is a back and forth for both ends. Yung depensa kasi na, they're making each one survive because of defense.
And now yung kailangan na magic bunot ng New Era dito is si Tristan Tolentino. If anyone can get them out of this hole, offensively, it's Tristan Tolentino.
He has to make his shots though.
Yep. Amos is running into traffic. No foul called there. New Era has numbers. Duarte, good defense there by Cortez. Just standing his ground. Gets another rebound. Saves it to Tolentino and just slips out of his fingers. What defense by Cortez? Just Duarte going downhill, standing his ground, and not moving an inch against Duarte. Pakinggan natin ang kwentuhan natin from the sidelines as we listen to our courtside reporter, Bianca Tagarda. Bianca?
After that so close run of the Hunters noong third quarter, Coach Jay regroups the team by giving their big men big responsibilities for this last 10 minutes. As per the huddle, kailangan daw nilang maging mabilis when it comes to passing the ball. Never spoil the defense pa rin and always play with pride. Megs and Benny, ano ba ang kailangan gawin ng Hunters to survive the Green Archers?
Thank you, Bianca. And I am not so sure, no? Ngayon, what do you think, Benny? Baka you are best to ask this time.
Once it never fails. One stop at a time, one defensive play at a time, and I think yun lang naman yung dapat gawin ng Hunters ngayon. They don't have TJ Adams there, but again, by committee, pwede nilang tutukan yung mga players that matter at this point. And in this case, Andre Dungo and Jacob Cortez. Yan ngayon yung mainit. Tignan natin ano yung magiging defensive schemes nila on these two players.
Cortez navigating through the screen of Duarte. Fade away jumper, no good. As Sevilla tracks down the board. David now will reset for the Hunters. Nablo to Tristan. The calling card. Still no answer. Mukhang wrong number yung binigay. Cortez spins away from the defense. Navigating to Dungo. What a pass by Jacob Cortez. Amos, 3, no good. Two clean looks by Lasal but could not convert there.
Wow, if you're a college basketball fan, this is something that you really want.
Sevilla kicks it out to Tolentino. And now Nablo will reset. Gets that pick from Sevilla. Shot clock's at 4. They have to go quick. Drop pass to Manzano. Excellent find by Sevilla.
Wow, it's just Well, escape act na lang yun, Migs, ano? And but that was a smart play by Sevilla to Manzano. Big on big.
Excellent recognition by Jared there. J and J connection. James from Jared. Amos to Cortez. From the passing end to the shooting end. Cortez knocks it down from deep. Nablo trying to figure out the next plan of offense here, as Dungo will be whistled for the foul. And Nablo will be helped up here by Manzano. Let's take a look at this three-pointer last time by Cortez. Short na yung tres niya kanina. Ngayon, in-adjust niya lang ng konti. And now set to check in, TJ Adams for James Manzano.
This is Jacob Cortez taking over. This is Jacob Cortez taking over on offense. And kasi, Migs, if you're a point guard, you're tasked with decision making. And I think
Always,
Jacob Cortez now is making the right decisions for the De La Salle Green Archers.
Sevilla trying to go against Pablo. Bad pass. Cortez intercepts it. And Cortez, a free lane to the basket. And timeout again will be called by Coach J. And another takeover quarter for Jacob Cortez. We started with Amos, and then it was slightly to the side of Jared Sevilla, and the King Archer now taking charge for his team. 68-60, 8-point lead for the Green Archers. We'll be right back for more fourth quarter action. Coaching staff of New Era just called timeout to talk things over as they're down by 8. Trying to find that wake-up call. So the 5 now on the floor for New Era: Tolentino, Adams, Sevilla, Nablo, and Duarte. They have slashing options, they have three-point options, and of course, the collector down low in TJ Adams. LaSalle sporting the 5 of Dungo, Cortez, Marasigan, Amos, and Konov.
This is nothing new to New Era naman, ano, Migs. They've been down at this point of the game, pero nakakabawi sila.
Tolentino still no avail there on the 3. Duarte, sorry, that's a Nablo on the drive. Pretty little floater on the inside. Parang nagiging second option na nga to si Nablo. But a very reliable one at that. LaSalle almost got away with another basket. Cortez will reset. 3.5 remaining. Finds Amos. Sets that pick for Cortez. Trying to read the defense. Shot clock at 1. Fadeaway jumper, no. And not a lot of Archers touching that ball on that possession. Nablo. Not sure about that shot early in the shot clock.
That was early in the shot clock, and he had options on the corner, and he has options in the middle.
Yep.
That was a bad decision on the part of New Era.
Cortez will get the double screen from Konov and Amos. Adams picking him up. It looked like it worked earlier for New Era. Adams bothering that shot. Sevilla running the break. Nablo down the hatch into the painted area. Pull-up jumper, no good. And that's a good shot there by Nablo.
That was a good shot. That was a good selection. He had an open mid-range, a midi. Hindi lang nga pumasok. Look at Jacob right now. Composed, mature. He's just taking over.
Adams picks up Cortez. Now on an island. Good defense by Adams. But Cortez could have been big. Could have been a big shot. Amos will reset. Cortez waiting for the handoff. Dribbles into traffic. Kicks it out. Amos. Top of the key. 3 is good. Beating the air out of the New Era Hunters as they take on a 9-point lead as we reach the last 2-minute mark, brought to you by Eastern Communications.
A crucial stretch this fourth quarter where TJ Adams was out was very critical.
And a jumper for Serafin Duarte. And yes, that was the turning point here for New Era. There were minutes na wala nga si TJ Adams. Dlsu taking full advantage and now putting them in a 6-point lead now. Cortez, cool, collected. Amos, down it goes. And Mason Amos, as consistent as the tide. 10-point lead now for the Green Archers as New Era takes another timeout with 1.5 remaining. We'll be right back after these messages. That's your 3-point shot play of the game, brought to you by Smart 5G. The last 1.5 minutes now as New Era uses up another timeout to figure out another plan of attack against the Green Archers. But Dlsu has just taken cruise control now. All they have to do is stay composed and execute. The main weapon in New Era is Tristan Tolentino, still on the floor. Duarte trying to find Adams. Kicks it out Tolentino. Three-pointer. Still no go. And parang live and die by the 3 itong New Era. If hindi nagkiklik itong tres ni Tristan Tolentino, usually it's gonna be a loss for New Era. Pero dapat lang nagkiklik. Itong sina TJ Adams, James Manzano, Jared Sevilla. That's your LGR rebound of the game. Pablo seizing it against Adams.
There was a stretch in the last couple of minutes, Migs, para sa New Era Hunters where they had great possessions, and I think the decision making on that part pressured, baka mamaya niyan kumbaga they didn't see it coming, kaya kumbaga it was those that did them in kasi they were really in the ball game.
Quick move by Adams but overshoots it. And Aldrich David with an offensive rebound, still no good. Gets another board and gets that shot to go. And if there's another fallback or another asset that this New Era team has, is its hustle.
That's
Talagang hindi siya nila tumitigil, no? Kahit tampak sila or they're up by a lot against any other team. One of the things na hindi natin masyado napapag-usapan about this Hunter team is their hustle. And maybe more on that later on as timeout will be called by LaSalle. We'll be right back after these messages. And now we're back for the fourth quarter with less than a minute remaining. Unless New Era can come up with a comeback of miraculous proportions, they are gonna come up with another loss now at the hands of LaSalle. They lost their first game against Ateneo. Then they're about to lose their second game against LaSalle to UAAP Giants. So definitely good green light for New Era, no? Na from all the experience that they're getting, from all the wins that they've gotten, they just fall short, but from very seasoned programs at that. Amos tries to tack on another three. Bottomless ocean.
Wow. Mix, we're just seeing a glimpse of what will happen by season 88. And it's just
That's gonna be incredible for
Wow.
Lasal.
For the Dlsu Green Archers. So, Archers fans, you just have to really, appreciate what's going to happen to your team.
And the ball sails out of bounds as Cortez tried to save it. So now ball will go back to New Era.
You got 30 seconds to go. Let's see what's going to happen here.
Yep. And Tristan Tolentino now at the inbound with now down by 9. If they come up with a three-pointer, they could still be in the game. David passes Tolentino from the inbound. There we go.
There you go.
Exactly what I was talking about. They have to come,
6-point lead,
they have to come up with a stop.
happen.
Cortez to Zamora. And Zamora pinasok na. And Duarte and Marasigan having a few words. And Duarte not appreciating the extracurricular activity. And Adams just pulling him away with no problem at all. And it looks like that both teams will be called back to their respective benches. And it looks like the coaching staff of New Era telling us na nagkaroon ng extracurricular blow si Duarte. Kasi Marasigan kay Duarte, that's why Serafin is extra heated now. But I guess it's a byproduct of the game. Na ngayon, both teams called to their benches now. Obviously a heated game between the Green Archers and the New Era Hunters. Six-point lead now for the Green Archers with about 21 seconds remaining. They could come up with a stop. A key defensive stop here could spell the difference here for the Hunters. Pero yun nga, sinasabi nga ng coaching staff, unang nagbigay si Boris and then Duarte was just trying to retaliate. But yung nakita yata is yung retaliation ni Boris and there we go. Unsportsmanlike foul will be called on Boris Marasigan. Hindi nga nakita siguro ng referees yung unang bigay ni Boris. And now it's gonna be an unsportsmanlike foul. And it looks like... Yep, that's an unsportsmanlike on Boris. And game announcer just finalized that it will be an unsportsmanlike foul against Boris Marasigan, but also a technical foul against both teams here, Benny. Both
That's
on
true.
New Era and LaSalle. Your take on that? What do you think?
Well, at this point, they have to control the temper. We have a very nice game. We don't have, hindi naman natin gusto na mataintan ito ng anything in terms of the violent side. We want to make sure that everything's under control, and I hope that, of course, our coaching staff will be able to control. And I think in this case, we have to commend, of course, the efforts of New Era and yung kanilang mga players to really control Duarte at that point when there was supposed to be something na pwede na naging heated. So let's see. Tignan natin kung ano yung magiging actions na i-fine at gagawin ng ating mga officials dito.
Si Duarte, pinulot lang siya ni Adams kanina. Nung umiinit na si Serafin, Adams just hugged him. And then Duarte was still trying to...
We have to commend TJ Adams for doing that, because he understands the implications of these types of actions.
And this behavior and style, it actually reminds me of another Adams. Steven Adams naman.
Steven Adams,
yes. I believe he's from OKC, na very gentle giant, pero pag binangga mo daw, parang pader talaga eh. So yun, kinausap na ng ating security team si Serafin Duarte to try to calm him down. So thank you to our security team and props to them for keeping the event in control.
Yes.
And syempre yung LaSalle team, talking to Boris Marasigan as well, na syempre kailangan both teams kalmado lang sila.
That's right. That's right.
Part of games is physicality. For sure naman yan. this is na Ask Who Meets UAAP. This is Pinoyliga Next Man Cup na teams just trying to prove themselves worthy of that first and second seed. Kasi nga, kung babalikan natin yung tournament format natin, it's the first seed against the fourth seed and the second versus the third. Tapos magko-crossover yung Final Four. So definitely na para mas ma-enrich yung experience naman from the side of New Era, no, to try and clinch those first 4 spots para mag-crossover to a potential kumbaga rivalry or match against a UAAP or NCAA giant. And on the side naman of the other teams, it's just to kumbaga mag-rest sila to get that twice to beat advantage. But early in the eliminations, this is very surprising to me. So ngayon mukhang na-stop yung game natin because referees are still reviewing that last one. But the last verdict of the referees na in-announce is it was a non-sportsmanlike foul on Voris, and then it was a technical foul on New Era, and it was also a technical foul on LaSalle for improper bench decorum.
So both teams will now have technical fouls to be meted against them, and si Boris Marasigan, act of violence. I think yun yung tinawag kanina ni head referee. And there's gonna be penalties for it in terms of free throws, if I'm not mistaken.
May free throws yan for sure.
And yung possessions will probably be going to New Era. Let's see here.
Here's the elephant in the room. Now, let's take a look at the right side of the screen. Marasigan, Duarte. Yeah, binigyan ni Duarte doon, and then Marasigan just faces him up. And then Marasigan just shrugs it off. Si Duarte na yung nagbigay during that last time. And then there's the backlash. So Duarte was from that replay, no? Duarte came from the other side of the floor. Naghihintay lang si Marasigan. And then he just tries to floor Voris. But he just doesn't move an inch. Pero unspo doon kay Voris. Interesting call by the referee. But let's see. Baka may finality pa to na may kinakausap pa ang ating coaching staff from both teams.
I think Commissioner Boying Dilo is like, you're seeing it now.
Let's look at the left side of your screen. So Duarte and, oh, there we go. That's the elbow that Voris gave Duarte. And I think that was what Duarte was referring to. That's why Duarte was late to the play. He sprinted to the other side because Voris gave him that elbow. Referees didn't see the initial elbow. And then now Voris is being called for the unsportsmanlike from the previous elbow na hindi natawag. And then it's technicals on both teams.
Yeah, I think that's where
could be fair.
Yung review system natin has shown kung ano yung mga penalties involved.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a clear unsportsmanlike, I believe, on the side of Voris. No? Nakita niya kasi, let's take a look at it one more time. From the left side of your screens, Voris and Duarte. From the shot of Tristan. Shot connects, and there we go. A blow to the right side abdomen of Duarte there, and just floors him. Kita naman na masakit talaga yun for sure. And then Voris looks back. He's back on offense. Then Duarte gives him one.
And this is where the scuffle and
started.
Started. So we go to, of course, our officials to make the proper call on this. And I think they did, Mix, just to review it. Both benches were called for unsportsmanlike, for technicals, for improper bench decorum, and Boris has been called for, I think it's act of violence. It's an unsportsmanlike foul, and let's see how sila head referee Dennis Escaros would continue this game.
And credits din siguro sa referees, no, na hindi nila tinawagan ng unspo itong si Serafin Duarte kasi di naman siya nag-fighting stance. Kinuha kagad siya ni TJ. So that could have been an eruption more on the side of New Era if napituhan pa
And
si
we commend,
Serafin.
again, we commend the New Era basketball team, yung mga teammates ni Serafin Duarte for just, controlling their teammates, We commend that. And then that's something na kung nag-escalate pa, it could have been different. But I guess this is something that's...
Oh, and Duarte having words with the fans now. Not appreciating the feedback that the LaSalle crowd is giving him. Yun yung hindi natin gusto makita, no, from a player. Because, you know, player to player is probably normal because nakikiskisa, nagbibigayan in the middle of the game. But if you're trying to fight against the audience, that's a different topic entirely.
And we don't want it. We don't want that. We don't want that. And I guess si Coach Jay at this point and the rest of the New Era Hunters, they're gonna try to, you know, control their side.
Yeah.
There's still a chance. If we're gonna
They're
go back
just
to the
down
ball
by
game,
6
they're
with
just
21.
down by 6.
Yeah.
If the tides will turn differently, one defensive play, it could change the landscape of the game. And baka mamaya niyan, masungkit pa nila to without, you know, without everyone seeing it.
Ayan, sa kaka-review, nakipagkaibigan na nga si TJ sa bangko ng,
Oo, at
ng
least
Lasal.
andun na.
Nakikipagkwentuhan na.
Nakikipagkwentuhan na si TJ Adams kay, ano.
Maybe, could we see him in another green and white? Probably.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. So
Kasi mukhang nagugustuhan ng Lasal yung pinapakita niya eh. But you know,
we'll never know.
ayoko naman mag-start ng something na wala naman doon.
But you know, I'm just happy that at this point naging ano na tayo, naging tempered ang both benches.
Well, the referees talk it over for our last calls. We'll go into our timeout.
Sampung taon ka nagtrabaho sa ibang bansa, pero ngayon, ikaw na ang boss. Sineselebrate natin ang inyong retirement. At ngayon, ikaw na ang boss. New beginnings, new independence. Dahil ngayon, ikaw na ang boss. Kung ready ka na maging boss, ready ka nang kasama ang Shawarma Shack. Daan-daang franchisees across the country ang tagumpay sa pagiging boss. Through the Shawarma Shack franchising system, step-by-step namin kayong tutulungan. That's why Shawarma Shack is now the biggest shawarma chain in the country. Gusto namin tagumpay ka. Gusto namin, ikaw na ang boss. Masaya ka bonding sa inyong tagumpay.
And the calls are now final. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike call on Boris Marasigan for act of violence. So that call stands. It's going to be a technical foul on the Dlsu bench.
Okay.
But no technical on the side of the bench of New Era.
Okay.
But there will be an individual technical foul called on Serafin Duarte for unsportsmanlike behavior.
So there's going to be a lot of free throws that's going to happen dito, Migs. And let's see. Because those free throws would change the landscape of the game.
Yes. And
So-
look at it. The best shooter in the game for New Era will be taking these free throws in Tristan Tolentino. But these are going to be very, very big free throws for New Era because you have the free throws from the unsportsmanlike. We have free throws from the technical foul. So these will be, I believe, the free throws for the unsportsmanlike foul.
Yeah, this free throw by Tristan Tolentino is very important if they want to stay in the ball game because this takes them down to 5 points.
He could turn it into a more manageable two-possession game here. But Tristan Tolentino has been almost absent in this game for New Era. No? He has been called upon on repeat by head coach Jay Agsanut and the rest of the coaching staff. But his three-pointer just was nowhere to be found today. And missing a crucial free throw is Tristan. But he has another one. Oh, and he misses both. Very big misses here for Tolentino. And all you can do now is just take it one play at a time.
Yes.
Right now, wala nang free throws, wala nang galit or sad or annoyance. Can take back those free throws. So what New Era can do now is just focus on the next one.
Those are the two games, the two shots that mattered the most for New Era. I guess that would have taken them down to 4.
And now Zamora will be taking free throws. Obviously a proud dad on the bench, missing that first one. And mukhang nandito rin yung mga kaibigan ni Ronaldo Zamora cheering him on. He has one more free throw though. So it looks like the teams will be called now as proud na proud si
Proud
Daddy.
dad, of course. The mayor of San Juan, Mayor Francis Zamora.
Francis Zamora, yep. Watching his son in pride, itong si Ronaldo Zamora.
Let's see if he could convert this.
The golden free throw, here we go. It's in! 78-71 now. And now Jared Sevilla pulls up from deep. Oh, top of the key three is good. They're still in the game.
They're still in the game. It's just a 4-point lead.
Cortez can waste away the time. They have to foul. David still not giving up the foul. Pablo Tolentino trying to foul him. Sevilla finally getting the foul against Cortez. And wasting away about 8 seconds of valuable time there was the Hunters. They should have recognized. They're down by 4. About 10 seconds remaining in the game clock. They should have fouled.
There was 2 shots, 2 free throws that mattered, and there's just those mistakes or miscues in during endgame that they have to look back.
And Mr. Late Takeover now at the free throw line, Jacob Cortez with a last half propel for LaSalle here, coming more into life in the third quarter. But I have a guess kung sino yung best player of the game natin, Benny, no? Pero wag na muna natin batiin. As timeout muna ang tatawagan ng New Era University Hunters. We'll be right back after this timeout. And now coming back into the ball game after a roller coaster of almost 4 quarters down to the last 2.4 seconds. TJ Adams will launch a 3 and he overshoots it. And that is all she wrote. Naasco meets UAAP and the Green Archers emerge victorious against the New Era University Hunters. 3-2. Now with a record of 3-2 is New Era, and LaSalle will remain undefeated with a record of 2-0. What an incredible game, Benny. I mean, it's been roller coaster. It's a roller coaster in terms of emotion. Lead after lead, run after run, and the defensive stops in the second quarter and the third quarter really spelled the change for both of these teams. If you were to summarize this game in a few words, what would it be?
A few minutes of not looking at the game could spell a big difference.
Oh yeah.
I think it was just a matter of 2 to 3 minutes where you lost control of the game and you completely lost the game. I think that was what happened because for 37 minutes of the game, nandun pa rin ang New Era Hunters, but I guess nawala pa rin sila.
And both teams were trying to talk it over, but the head coach of New Era still adamant on his point. And the game announcer obviously asking both benches to go back to their respective sides to preserve the peace here. Now calling the security guards. First time ko makita yon.
That's right. And I think it's a good thing that we have our security tight.
Yeah.
At for this particular game na mainit.
And now let's make space for the hymns of our schools for the end of game number 1.
A shield of green and white, we'll fight to keep your glory bright, and never shall we fail. Hail to be our alma mater, hail, hail, hail.
now for your New Era University Hunters.
Our faith beneath thy wings will forever be. All hail, Pregame, forever dear to me. Like the rising sun within thy seal, will shine and light the world with brilliant seal. The laws of man will obey with zeal. We disgrace the name, all the victories. Hail to thee, the love and all the matter. Be pride, upon and live forever. With honor will march beneath thy banner. The golden flame will always remember. We pledge to thee eternal loyalty. We will win for drink of fame and glory. With fervent prayer to the Almighty. We'll be alive. All hail, Pregame, we are forever dear to me. We are proud to sing with cheers and glory. To thee our hopes and dreams run crystal clear. Our faith beneath thy wings will forever be. All hail, Pregame, forever dear to me. Glory to God, our Lord Almighty, and selfless service to humanity.
And now for your best player of the game. With 16 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, and 4 steals, number 0 from Dlsu Green Archers, Jacob Cortez!
And our best player of the ball game with game number 1 coming to a stop. 80-74, panalo ang Green Archers. Best player of the ball game, Jacob Cortez with a stellar stat line and 16 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, and 4 steals. Puntahan natin ngayon ang ating courtside reporter for our interview with our best player of the ball game. Bianca?
Of the game once again, that is Jacob Cortez, the back-to-back player of the game for the Dlsu Green Archers. Now Jacob, you make it seem easy to play in court. You know where to shoot the ball, when to shoot the ball, who to give the ball to. Now how do you master this skill?
My master siguro from just reps and practice every day and just being surrounded by them every day during practice, even off the court, and slowly building up our chemistry for the UAP season.
It's all about discipline talaga, no, Jacob? Pero this was a very close match, yet you are still as consistent as you were in your last game. Now, what's your mentality for this game, setting aside yung physicalities and drama that happened all throughout the quarters?
We knew that New Era University was every team we go against, they play their best. So our mentality was to play hard, of course. And we play hard because we practice hard with all these guys. And yeah, that's it.
And lastly, would you like to give a shout out to take someone or to greet someone live?
First of all, I want to thank God, of course, for this win. And I want to thank the squad that's here. That's it.
Thank you.
Sorry. Shout out to my family that's watching in the States. Love you and miss you.
Ayan, thank you so much, Jacob Cortez. Would you like to give a shout out sa iba pa?
Okay, yeah. Shout out to my girlfriend. She's watching.
Thank you so much, Dlsu Green Archers. Talagang napakasaya nila for the statement win. Now that's all for Best Player of the Game interview. Back to you, Migs and Benny.
Once again, congratulations to the LaSalle Green Archers. And mukhang kulang pa sila sa celebration, no? A very timid and introverted team is the LaSalle Green Archers. Very similar to their neighbors in CSB. So coming up, game number 2 will be between the Ateneo Blue Eagles facing off against the San Sebastian Golden Stags for our main event and nightcap for today. That's it for game number 1 of the Pinoyliga Next Man Cup. We'll see you for game number 2.